pause for a moment and just breathe. And as you breathe, do you realize the miracle of what is happening right now? The miracle that allows us to be. Realize the miracle that is you. So what does it mean to live big? We all have this vision of what life could be. We all want to reach our potential and to expand our limits and to accomplish amazing things in our life. These are our God-given rights. This is what we're here for. And why is it that we're so often seduced into living and playing small? Why is it that since the time we were young, we bought into this delusion and we started to accept these lies into our life and to believe that they were true? We started to believe that we were not good enough, that we were not worthy, that we were not loved. And with these lies creating the operating system for our life, we began to go through life, and as we emerged into elementary and middle school, we began to take on more and more of this junk that once again fed into this operating system, which kept us playing small, kept us from really going for it, kept us from truly experiencing our brilliance and our greatness. Every day, the average American is bombarded with 3,000 to 5,000 marketing messages. And every one of these marketing messages has one purpose and one purpose only: to tell you that your life is not good enough the way it is. To tell you that you need something else, some other product, some other experience, something else to finally be okay, to fill that gap within your soul. Every one of those messages is reminding you of those lies that you bought into since the time you were born, and reinforces that the only way for you to live big is to reach and grab something outside of who you are already. And this is the lie. And so we start comparing ourselves over and over again to the people around us. And it's a big world. 7 billion people in this world. The 7 billionth person was officially born last October. 7 billion people. Just to give you a perspective, if you were to count every person, count a person a second, it would take you 21 years, 221 years to count everyone, and by then there would obviously be billions and billions more. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to compare ourselves to. It's a big, big world, but then sometimes we lie at night and we look at the stars and we realize in this big, big world, it is such a tiny microcosm of the universe. I mean, just thinking of our solar system, if you were to take the size of the Earth and place it inside the sun, you could fit 1.2 million Earths inside the sun. Now that's big. But the sun is only one of over 2 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, traveling at the speed of light. Light travels at 186,000 miles per hour. Traveling at the speed of light in 1 second, you could travel around the Earth 7.5 times in 1 second. Going at that same speed, it would take you 100,000 years. 100,000 years to travel all the way across the Milky Way galaxy. That's a big galaxy. But the Milky Way is just a fraction of the universe. Just to give us a glimpse, science has developed these amazing tools. In 2003, they launched an experiment with the Hubble telescope. This is one of the second images that they took, and this is called the Hubble Deep Space Image. Just to give you a glimpse of the size of the universe and our place in it, in this view of the universe, which equated to a pinpoint in the darkest part of the night sky. If you could take an 8-foot straw and look into it, that tiny little dot in the darkest part of the night sky where there could be seen nothing, they took and exposed this image for the course of 11 days. And when they finally developed the image, what they saw was shocking. This image that represented just a pinpoint in the darkest part of the night sky held over 10,000 visible galaxies, the size of our galaxy or bigger. 10,000. And so it's easy for us sometimes to look into the stars or to look into the face of other people walking around us every day and to sense how small we are. How small this experience of our life really is in thinking about this eternity. And we ask ourselves, who am I? Who am I to be beautiful? Who am I to be great? Who am I to stretch? Who am I to let my voice be heard? Who am I? And we forget the truth of who we are. Who are you, really? I wish to acknowledge a good friend of mine, Emmy-winning producer Gary Malkin, and producer of Wisdom Films, for the music and for the imagery which you see here. And he and I were having this conversation because, like me, he has a passion. And if I could sum my whole mission up into one thing, it is this: to remind people of their divine, authentic truth. And the truth is that you are not sent here to play small. The truth is that you are not separate from all of these things that we are constantly comparing ourselves to. As we look into this great, expansive universe and this phenomenal earth that we see. If anything, it should remind us of our own greatness, of our own brilliance, and of our own beauty. It should remind us that the energy and the atoms that make up who we are have always existed and will always be. And so rather than being separate from the people that we stand and compare ourselves to so often, the truth is we are one. And we always will be. There's no need to compare. This is our life that we've been given. And it's time. It's time to remember. It's time to awaken and to honor the truth of who we are. To see in us that spark of brilliance, that spark of greatness, and rather than hurrying to hide that spark, to let that fire burn. And in us stepping into our greatness and shining in our brilliance, all of a sudden gives other people permission to do the same. And we begin to discover deep within us that there are no limits, that those limits are merely an illusion. There's nothing other than the lies that we believed in the past that will keep us from living our truth and living those dreams that we have. So my invitation for you is simply this: to just be. To realize for you to live big, it does not mean you need something outside of who you already are. It's not about gaining some new tool, some new technique, some new information. The truth is that you already are perfect. You already are whole. You already are loved. So just be. And always remember that you only have one life to live.